accept cookies. I accept cookies. What's up? That was fast. Fast. We're into Twitch. Yeah, the first stream. Good stream on Kick yesterday. We're back on Twitch. I'm on time for a change. Okay, guys and girls, what's up? We're gonna play some Weird Wednesday chess here. Thanks for subscribing, Acerbate. He's resubscribed to Tier 1. Tier 1? What happened to Tier 3? Oh my god. Our only Tier 3 subscriber just reverted to Tier 1. Alright, man. I accept your Tier 1 offer. I've got to change my... we're closing in on 10,000 followers, but I really got to change... I got to update my description. It's kind of stale. Alright, we got a lot of work to do. So I'm taking challenges here on lichess.org. August 2nd, Murphy George. All right. What's up, Mr. Marf? Coffee. Coffee, good. Played 10 rapid games yesterday in our tournament. We could do a puzzle, streak, puzzle, storm, puzzle, no storm. Puzzle 25-37. Uh-oh. Something with rook e8 check. Oh no, it's rook d1. That's so sick. That's so sick. I've never seen that exactly. Can I play you? Premsa. Premsai Ravindran. Can I play you? May I play you? Technically, according to my 7th grade English teacher, who was very adamant about that, but adamant. Yeah, we got a puzzle right. You can play me, of course. The question is, may you play me? I don't know. You have to challenge me on lichess.org, and we play the subscribers first. But if there's no subscribers challenging, then yes, I may play you. All right. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Turn on the air, the AC. It's too hot in here. I need a fan, really. I used to operate with the fan on all the time. And, yeah, but you have to challenge me to the correct time control. Whereas I don't necessarily need AC, but I do need air circulation. I should buy an actual fan to supplement my air conditioner. Because I don't want air conditioning right now, just I want the fan. Supernova Nuvatic Asian. The problem is you're challenging me the time control, which is wrong. Wrong, not enough games. Enough games, okay. You're just challenging me the wrong time control, 10-0, but I'll play it. It should be 7 + 5. I'll accept this because yesterday we were playing 10-0 tournament, and, yeah. Weird openings Wednesday. Yeah, the H6 Sicilian. Alright, you better not. Better not beat me. The H6 Sicilian. How do we make that work? Well, we could play it like good old... See, this move is, like a Mora. I mean, we'll leave that there. Not really comfortable with b5. This is not a cheapo. I just want to prevent e5. Ooh, that's dubious. That looks dubious anyway. Even if it's not dubious, it looks dubious. Hard to resist the temptation here. Ooh, wait, it's like lost already. Wow. Too fast, man. You know, you need to slow down, dude. See, what people do is they play beyond their capability. I mean, I think you're not a bad player, but you're playing faster than you should for your, you know, capability. Playing well is more important than playing fast. I'm sure if you took more time, you would play better. All right, take more time. 10-0 is a lot of time. You have tons of time. Why play the whole game in 1 minute? You asked. See that game over in 2 minutes, and it was a 10-0 game. So what's up, Asterbait? Anyway, thanks for following. We've got 6 viewers now. 9, sorry. The other 6. That's your other 6. You know, I tried weird opening today. I played h6. This is really bad. I mean, I don't know. The only possible justification of this is to play g5. Really. I mean, other than that, it's just the weakening of the king side and a little bit of benefit of controlling g5. It's a pretty bad move, though. On the fly, I was like, okay, what variation of the Sicilian haven't I played? You know, that's like a weird line. And I was checking the list yesterday. Checking my list and checking it twice. Little Santa Claus for you guys. But checking my list, and I saw the h6 was actually played in a handful of games. Dude, you gotta slow down, first of all. This is the number one criticism I have of everybody. Because of internet chess, this didn't used to be a problem when there was no online chess. People didn't necessarily play too fast, but now it's like faster, faster, faster because everybody's watching Kaoru Nakamura play 1 minute bullet and stuff like that. Get strong first, and then you can get faster. You know, I think put the emphasis on playing well, primarily, and then gradually improve your speed. You know, but the first priority is to play correctly. Secondly, you know, clearly you need to work on tactics. The opening was fine. Bishop c4 isn't the best. But you left this piece unprotected, you know, and that's a warning sign. I try, you know, some strong masters will often play and never ever leave any pieces unprotected. You got to be very aware of that. And I mean, dude, I don't know, with my queen on c7 after b3, you like lost immediately. I mean, I could have played d5 here. You have to play bishop b3 here. Maybe the opening is a little too aggressive for you. You know, maybe you should play something slower. Slow down. That's my advice. Slow down chessically, slow down time-wise. And just focus on playing well. You gradually build up the speed if you want to be a fast player. All right, we're not going to take the same challenge. I'm not going to play the same guy multiple games. All right, we're back here. What do we got? Oh, blog. Hatred for blogs. I hate blogs with annoying photos. Let's call them photo blogs. I want to do a stream where I just make fun of other people's blogs, but I've not done it yet. I'm holding off. See, it bothers me. This is the bottom of my screen. I don't want to see that crap. You know, I don't want to see that. All right, what do we got? Oh, let's look at some games from yesterday, huh? How about our tournament yesterday? It was nice of Lafong to rate us on Kick. Yeah. Miro, hey, what's up? It was nice of Lafong to rate us. He's never rated me on Twitch, ironically. But I guess on Kick there's not a lot of chess players. Boom! This is the correct time control. 7 plus 5. It gives you bonus time. It's better than 10-0. Play minimally 5 plus 3 if you want to improve. Go with Biomi. Alright, man, there's no air in here and there's huge construction outside. I have to turn on the air conditioner again. Alright. Weird openings Wednesday. What are we gonna do? A plan. Man, a plan. The plan. Planets. E4. We're expecting E5. Okay. Let's do it. Learning chess 673. Hello players. Hello players. Did I? Oh yeah, you're the guy that refuted that weird Vienna. I have an idea. Did I play this against you before? Probably. I'm black now. What color are you? I'm laying low, pretending I'm black. I love A3, you know? You should play G6 now. G6 is the ultimate A3 counter in all cases. It seems like. Guys, welcome. Asterbeat, thanks for following. Subscribing. Tier 1. Gift a subscription. Be the first to gift a subscription. And you guys, I don't mean to be like Mr. Donations and stuff, but please think about supporting us for the World Senior. It's not that far off. It's August now. We've got August and September and half of October. Basically, we've got less than 100 days. Something like 85 days. Sned Steak just subscribed, resubscribed, tier 1 for 7 months. Hi, I found my way back. Thanks to Asterbeat spamming on lichess. Asterbeat was spamming on lichess? You know what happened to tier 3? You mean tier 3's gone? It doesn't exist? Or you had this once before, Asterbeat, where you accidentally subscribed to tier 1 when you meant to subscribe to tier 3. Can you subscribe at both? I'm sure you can upgrade to tier 3. Tier 3 upgrade, please. Okay, so now what are we going to do? I was going to play knight f3. That's so... Yeah, bishop c4 allows knight takes c4. I mean, it's a classic. Bad scene, dude. Doesn't it? I would think so. I would think so. So we're going to play the 4 knights with a3. This is a real variation. I've had good luck with this so far. G6 isn't his style. Oh, it's the Scotch. Now, if I wanted to be funky, I could play bishop b5 here. Nothing wrong with that. I've never tried that. Is it a good idea? This is above and beyond. All other games I've played this position, I've played pawn takes pawn and that's a reliable move. But I also played the black side of the Petrov and some 2 knights or some 3 knights games. In the 3 knights game, there's a weird line, which is like this kind of, or it's like a weird line against the 4 knights Scotch. Sned 6 is out to leave. We don't have a queue. Nobody knows who I am. Oh, Asterbait sent a message. What? Asterbait sent a team message. That was nice, Asterbait. Knight takes e5 may be possible. It may be possible, but it's pretty risky. I'm not going to do that. Gonna play over the board with mates. Mates are good. You want to go for as many mates as possible. It's actually useful having a3 here. Tempting to double those pawns, I have to say, but I'm I'm saving my bishop for a better thing. Now you reminded me of something. What was it? Man, knight h5, he's a pro. Pro tip. Alright, let's just be done with this, first of all. We're done with that. And then, need to break pin. Been there, done that. It's the Nimzo. Nimzo feel. Not really like Miro is. I was hoping to see you, Nedog. I know you're a morning person. You missed our iconic, our most iconic evening stream yesterday, where I finally became an official viewer, yeah, official streamer on Kick. So that was cool. Yeah, I like the way that Black handled this situation. Used to say that in Harvard Square. That was Boris. Do you remember Boris? You must remember Boris, right? Boris the weird. Boris the weird. Situation. He could, yeah, Boris and Vlad, they were the best. They were. Boris was nicer than Vlad, though. Vlad was kind of acerbic tongued. All right. We've got Hayes Miro in one of his. Well, I mean, this is not really the kind of position that he usually plays. But now I kind of have to be. I know the feeling, man. I used to play poker at like 4 a.m. at one point. And now I just can't wake up in the morning. It depends. You do what you have to do. We do what we do. Don't get angry. You guys remember Get Smart? Oh yeah, Castle Queenside. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did I already screw up now? The laser. I'm eyeing the queen side. I'm doing everything. King side, queen side. Can't open the center. I didn't want to open the center with c3. Beep, 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 beep. I mean, is knight f5 even a good plan at this point? Like, I guess it would be okay to like take with a rook. I expected Black to play g6 now. This is kind of a weird game. I mean, Miro's such a psycho. He's always like super aggressive, castling opposite sides, stirring up dynamism everywhere he goes, especially in the morning. Oh, you missed our tournament yesterday as well, Nedog. We had Sladgie. I won the tournament at the end. I like snuck into first place by a miracle. It was so epic. Ospreys. I was lost against Earning Chess. Played 21 CPL game. Better than my average, like, tournament game. I think we're heading back. We'll be heading back later tonight. That was all just a little bit of a... Yeah, this is pivotal. Now I have to play this, which isn't really... That wasn't really the plan, necessarily. But I am not letting the H file open up here. This game is just getting more and more... more and more bizarro by the second. I'll never be able to, like, use this Queen A5 maneuver I intended. Oh, no. Seriously, dude. You're seriously insane. Why do you have to be so insane? I want to know. Like, inquiring minds want to know. Why you have to be so insane? Where does he come up with this shit? He sacks the exchange on G6 with, like, some kind of scary attack. How do you come up with this crap so quickly? You gotta love it. I was really curious about Bishop G4, man. I can't believe you didn't pull a trigger on that. But maybe yours is just, like, better or simpler. Brute force works every time. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. C5. What you got for me? There's no time to waste here. I'm gonna crack your little SpongeBob, your SpongeBob house. SpongeBob lives in a... What does he live in again? Anyway, I'm gonna huff and I'm gonna puff and I'm gonna blow your center down. Attack the weakness, whatever that means. I don't even know where the weakness is. Queen takes. This is a really important decision. If you don't know where the weakness is, it's probably you. Classic pokerism. Pawn takes. What about the B file? Is that important? That's not important, right? What's the sense of danger? Oh, the B file. Nobody cares about that. Don't worry about that. It's not important whatsoever. Oh, you want to go back in the middle. I see. Sí, señor. I can read your mind. Beep, beep, beep. Ooh. What's that about? You're preventing D4 now? Huh. I think I saw that. Now your E5 pawn is hanging. He's so loose and all over the place, man. I mean, it's crazy. Like, every single move, there's a new plan. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What a style. Holy shit. Where do you even start to combat a player like this? I don't have a choice. Good thing I put my king on h2 to avoid those sacrifices on h3. This is... Actually, he's surprised by d4, which is pretty weird, actually. Wow. I'm going to protect that. Check. Check and take. I really want to set myself up for a potential disaster here, if possible. Can we get some clearance? He's got bishop c8 now. All right. He did that. Calculated cheese. Oh, he's got to check. Look out. Look out. How goes it? I don't know, I'm just really annoyed with this construction in my neighborhood, man. I thought it was like, they finished on my corner. And then all morning it's been like, this huge, it sounds like a trash, imagine like you had a trash truck coming down the street like again and again and again and again. I think they're carrying like, it must be like a, they need to like refill the dirt in this like giant things they dug up, and so they're carrying a lot of dirt. But anyway, I just can't open the windows in my office. It's really starting to depress me a little bit. Okay, Snedsteg, Zen Chess, Ace Shorva, Shurya, and Dr. Abbreviate. Oh, dude, I'm really noise sensitive because I'm a chess player, you know? I've been playing in chess tournaments where it's like a library, like, shh. Since 1986, I've been trained to, like, be able to concentrate in this environment where it's, like, total silence. And other people don't understand, but that's why I'm so noise sensitive. You have this expectation of total silence in the chess tournaments. And it became like, you know, anytime I'm concentrating, you know, like it's an exam in high school or something. All right, it used to be ambulances at my, damn, what a game this was, by the way. Can we just have a quick analysis? Mate in 2. Oh, that's brutal. It's mate in 2. Rook takes b6. I just want to check this out, okay? The opening is the opening. It is what it is. So this is actually the main line in that position. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's funny. Caruana managed to lose 2 games with white in this position. That's really impressive. Funny that I've played pawn takes pawn. You know, I'm honestly not sure which of those moves is better. I think the computer actually seems to prefer pawn takes pawn. It doesn't surprise me entirely, you know? It doesn't surprise me entirely that, because if you compare it to, as I said, the 3 knights, like, or, you know, the Scotch 4 knights, this, see, it's the same thing, just, you know, without the extra tempo. And e takes d4 is a better move than bishop b4. Bishop b4 is like experimental, and e takes d4 is, it's correct, you know. So it's the same thing. I mean, it should be more correct. But anyways, that's funny. The engine wants to play knight takes e4 now and go for the pawn. And this is Caruana Kramnik, 2018. Dude, I always sleep with earplugs. I can't sleep. Yeah, I mean, I have to. This is the only way to go, dude. Screw the blindfold thing. I mean, it's. I don't like light either, but noise is really pissing me off. Man, there's this guy who, like, I was totally asleep the other morning. I'd stayed out all night, Friday night or something. It was Monday morning, I guess. And this jerk who, like, he's a nobody. He, like, I think he's, like, putting, like, papers, like, advertisements in people's mailboxes and stuff. So he rings the house door so that someone will let him in, and he can, like, put these stupid advertisements in people's doors. And so he rings my bell for some reason, you know, and it's just, like, random, but it's just bad luck. It wakes me up at, like, 9 o'clock in the morning when I need, like, 3 hours of sleep. And then I'm, like, answering the doorbell, and I'm like, who is this? He's like, in Hungarian, he's like the president. I'm like, oh man. It's like Viktor Orban. You know, this is what woke me up. Some jerk who's, like, you know, trolling me on the intercom when I, like, open the door, you know, and when I wake up. I was so pissed, man. All right, bishop b5, d4, knight e2, bishop d6. This has all been played, Jesus. This is like main line, d3, and then Caruana managed to lose to everybody in this line. Wow, look at the score. Caruana lost. Dutch guy lost. Another guy lost. Bloxberger drew. Another guy lost. White's score is horrible here. Why is White's score so bad? Bishop d7 preventing the doubling of pawns. So this is the only game where someone won. Wow. Spiro following the game. So for some reason that move is better. Yeah, but my concern was that he would avoid the doubled pawns and go back. That's why I exchanged on c6. You're ruined. You're ruined. That's funny. I'm playing Weird Wednesday, right? And this guy is the Dutch IM who's claim to fame was writing this column for New in Chess called SOS, Secrets of Opening Surprises. And so Jeroen Bosch actually has a lot of really interesting ideas in offbeat openings. Okay. Interesting. Zen Chess. What's up, guys and girls? Zen Chess, learning chess. Let's subscribe. Let's all subscribe and support Slaggie's going to the World Senior. I've got to register this month before it's too late. The deadline is August 31st. Deadline for World Senior is August 31st. We've raised $530 so far. We need $2,200 due to inflation. Send me there, because I'm broke. All right, we're gonna need your support to win the World Senior Championship. I'm gonna play the Sicilian. I played H6 earlier. Running out of weird Sicilians. Well, let's play Nimzovich. This isn't too weird, but it just barely qualifies. This will just barely qualify. I don't want to play like really stupid move every game, you know? I mean, Nimzovich, I had a tough game the other day against somebody. Yeah, the World Senior, last year I went and I did okay. And I made the prize, 13th place. But I was hoping to do even better. You know, I really think like on a really good day I could win the tournament, but I'd have to have some luck, obviously. Even with a bunch of grandmasters, I'm motivated. It's no children. The games are in the afternoon. It's basically optimal conditions. It's a tournament format that's like optimal conditions for me. One game a day, afternoon. Focused, not distracted by other people. Solo. Han Solo. Last year, what happened last year? Well, I lost one game. Honestly, I think gotta work on the openings a little bit here. All right. There was this game. One of the viewers played Queen B6 against me. It's Grandelius. Grandelius played against Carlsen like 6 years ago. I'm offended by Queen B6, the whole idea of Queen B6. Grandelius got destroyed. It was one of Magnus's best games, in my opinion. No, I don't play much off stream these days, calculated chess, but I do have a tournament coming up next in 3 weeks. So that's going to be my only warm-up. I'm not going to play in the Hungarian Team Championship. Because my team is cheap and I'm sick of them. So, and I just don't really feel like playing chess in the morning anyway. Even if another team offered me to play, I'd probably say no. I'm just so sick of this, like, traveling 3 hours to some other city so I can play chess at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd rather just like put a gun to my head, you know? That's just not fun, and I'm done with it. Okay, bishop f4, e6. Yes, you prevented me from moving my d-pawn. But I gained a little bit of appreciation for this from the viewer, the Rachmanov fan. Rachmanov, the Russian grandmaster who streams sometimes, plays this opening all the time. Mr. Coffee, I saw something funny. Wait. I saved something for you. That's not gonna work. Yeah. How can I... I'll show you later. Anyway, it was a funny photo, cat related. Remind me to show you like Friday or whatever. Thanks, calculated chess. You're playing exactly like me in chess. That's funny. This is exactly how I played with white, bishop e2. zine chess. The chess zine. I am knowledgeable. My problem is that I'm freaking crazy and undisciplined. I suffer from mental illness. We all do. All right, undisciplined. No, we're gonna have fun. Sicily, 2000. But I gotta remember to register because last time they put me in a really shitty hotel. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great. Michael Adams took all the good hotel rooms. Thanks for putting it out there. That's me reading my mind. Is he a GM? You got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. You know, but I mean, I would be careful with one thing, Narag. I feel like my dad was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but I was a little sketchy on the diagnosis, you know? I don't know. I'm not really an authority. I mean, it's been years since I studied psychology, but I do think that it's likely that all I'm saying is like I think it's likely a lot of times it's overdiagnosed, you know. It's kind of like ADD. Like according to people, like everyone has ADD. I mean, maybe the truth is that we're on a kind of spectrum, you know, like a almost like a crazy spectrum, you know. I mean, I don't know. Putting people in you know. But maybe I guess you can also it takes a long time to reach that diagnosis. Well, like not in my dad's case. From what I saw, I thought they incorrectly diagnosed him. He was extremely depressive, but I didn't see the manic side of it. I'm just saying, like, you know, don't take like diagnoses for granted, like automatically. If you're happy with bipolar disorder, stick with it, you know. I'm just saying, like, you could re-roll the dice and see what happens at the next psychologist, but maybe it works for you. In my dad's case, I think they got it wrong. You know, I never saw any kind of manic episodes from him, and I didn't understand that diagnosis. But all right. Yeah, we're coming back to E7 in most cases. You know, it's funny that I feel like it's complicated. It's complicated. All right. I felt kind of manic lately myself, though it's never really been an issue for me. I've had, you know, other issues, but that's what I'm saying. I think there's like a kind of spectrum, you know. I don't like this putting things in boxes, trying to put everybody in a you know, classifiable. But it's cool if they gave you medicine, you feel better. Lionel Spoon is here. So who are you rooting for, Spence or Crawford? Thanks for resubscribing. You told me about that fight. I didn't realize how the welterweight fight championship unification bout in Vegas. I didn't realize about that, man. So Crawford won, and he's now like unified champion. It's that was like supposedly one of the biggest fights of our generation, but it sounds like it was a little bit of a disappointment. Was it like unanimous? Well, what happened? Like I didn't see the result. Just it looked like Crawford won like convincingly, according to reports. So I mean, it'd been billed as like almost like a toss up, but by the way, Nedog, your condition gets worse with age. Me too. But I've realized something. Everything gets worse with your condition. The human condition gets worse with age. Yeah. Everything gets worse with age. It's not just your mental state, dude. Everything's getting worse everywhere all the time. So we've got a really strong attack here. That's why I played the system. I was impressed by it when I was white. This is kind of scary, and white doesn't seem to have like any plan whatsoever. Way to combat black's like attack or whatever. My position is a tad different from the game that I had where I was white. This is tempting. What's he gonna do? Like Queen A3? Oh, please don't play Queen A3. Spence was destroyed. Yeah, that's a disappointment. The guy was like 26-0. But honestly, I haven't followed boxing. I've never really followed boxing very closely, and I'm sure you know a lot, Lionel. But I mean, was this a case of like somebody who, I mean, he was billed as one of the best. I mean, it wasn't like he was some stiff who had 26 easy fights or something, and he just like set him up to. Well, I mean, I guess boxing is tough, man. There's a lot of factors that go into it, conditioning. So they said that Crawford is gonna go to the higher weight now. He was saying that he would move up weight, because he had trouble making weight. Yeah, boxing. I like boxing. I don't like MMA. I think it's like kind of weird, but I really like classic boxing. I feel like MMA is the bullet chess of human. What do they call them now? The BBC has a funny classification for sports like MMA and boxing. It's like I'd never seen this before. I can't remember the word. It was just awkward. It was like battle sports or something, or I don't know. Matter of style. Style factors in. Yeah. Yeah, certain styles are going to play better against others. Conditioning, you could be out of shape, you didn't. That's a factor. Battle bots. The style factor comes in for sure. Right. Okay, nice move. 92. Does that work? It is late. He's got some stuff here. Checkmate. Man, this thing is dangerous if white doesn't know what they're doing. This is not a joke. It seems like such a harmless line, but all of a sudden, like, the defining things like black's king is totally safe and white is in the combat zone, whatever you want to call it. Now, is he just getting out of this in time? G4 or H5. He's just getting out of this in time. So he's gonna survive? Is my knight trapped yet? Are we there yet, donkey? Yes, yes. That's fine. I guess. Oof, he might have had bishop takes f5 there. Maybe not. Maybe not. I would have had queen c6. Yeah. I mean, there was one weird possibility. Yeah, I mean, he has pawn takes d7 check. I can hide on d8 though. So that line probably didn't work for him. If he tried to take an f5 and play e6. Yeah. Now that looks dangerous. The h file. Oh, you're not. Yeah, what are you doing now? I don't think e6 works here. Stupid comments. Holy moly. No, I've even got this. That's not good. So this is the whole. What happened to Zen chess here was like what almost happened to me when I was white in a game a couple weeks ago. I never realized like how dangerous this thing really is, you know. But if you go back to the opening, I think the important thing is my move order. I don't know about, but this type position, you should play like h4 and probably castle queenside, basically. You don't have to play h4 right away, but I think the key is to castle queenside. I guess it's not so simple. Like black can try crazy shit like queen a5 or something. But bishop e2 is what I did. I did like bishop e2 and castle kingside, and it's not good. That's exactly what black wants. Just you to play like routine chess here. Yeah, so the number one move is queen d2. Someone suggested queen e2. See, like, my game was different though, because I feel like my opponent played a different move order. Maybe he did e6 first. Yeah, this is what happened. Maybe this was what happened. Wasn't this? No. So this is also inaccurate for white. Rachmaninoff has a million games here. This is interesting. So this system is a little better than it looks. There's no games. You're better. Why? B6 novelty. And then I'm better. I think I'm better here. Objectively, this is really hard. It's so easy for white to go wrong. Look how it just like goes south. This is a disaster for white. So I missed g4. Wow. I missed g4. You didn't have bishop takes f5, right? Bishop takes f5, e takes f5, e6, queen c6, e takes e7 check. This is what I'm talking about. I can't play king d8. I can play king d8, but it's bad. Wow, you just hold on everything. That's unbelievable. You wouldn't think like black was lost here. That's a nice pawn you've got there, sir. But at the same time, like, white can't move any of his pieces, so it's kind of weird. Wow. So this is the problem. No major problem with that. That's easy to defend against. So that was a resource. So on e takes d7, I have to play queen takes d7, and I'm lucky that I'm not, like, toast here. Knight f3, queen e6. Bishop takes f5. Oh, you mean, like, in the variation we just looked at? Like, knight f3, g4? Oh, this line is killing me every time. Apparently. Bishop takes f5 was your best shot. You mean like bishop takes f5, g4 right away? It's like ignoring it? No, you can't do that. Anyway, I just wanted to throw this out there and see what happens. I don't really know what I'm doing. Alright. But now you're aware that it's a thing. And we can't react with white. We can't play too routinely. Snedsteg. Thanks for being a subscriber, Snedsteg. Guys, our kick stream is up and running. So you guys, tomorrow night we're gonna stream. For now, I'm gonna try to do the night streams. The night streams on the kick stream. Kickstarter. My kick stream is starting. Combat sports, thank you. Yeah, Lionel Spoon knows what I'm talking about. The BBC calls them combat sports. It's kind of funny. Reminds me of like gladiators and shit. All right, it's a cool category. All right, what are we gonna do? Did you night stream in your sleep? Stream in my sleep. I sleep stream. But that would be scary, wouldn't it? You know, sleepwalking. People could theoretically sleep stream. Roseanne Barr, like, sleep streams while she's taking, what's that drug? I'm sure that Nedog knows what I'm talking about. What's the drug she claimed made her a racist? I don't remember. Yeah, Ambien. She would stream. She would like stream while she was taking Ambien. Imagine if you'd like, okay, drunk streaming is probably a thing, but sleep streaming. Dude, it's theoretically possible. I mean, you could totally like be in like an altered state of consciousness and like asleep and start streaming. Ambien made me do it. Snetsy Queen Accelerated Dragon. This position disturbs me, you know, it really does. It disturbs me that like bishop c4 is the only good move for white. There's one good move in the position. That, I don't like that, you know, I don't like the fact that there's only one move in the whole position that's any good. Okay, bishop e2 is playable. I think it's lame. I just went over a game from like 1920 where the Hungarian Gyula Breyer was black against Richard Reti. And Reti played bishop e2. Classical dragon. I think it's cool that Breyer played the accelerated dragon in 1920, bro. Speaking of bipolar, maybe, I don't know, Nedog, does that make Gyula Breyer bipolar? Because like half the time he was like uber classical, and then half the time he was like super hyper modern. Doesn't that qualify as bipolar? I think he should get some medication. You know, f3 is queen b6. That's why you can't transpose. You can't transpose. There's too much pressure on the accelerated dragon move orders against this knight on d4. You can't force the dragon, you know, the accelerated dragon players to play the dragon. I'm just playing this lame line with h3. Wasn't ready check. No, in those days it was all the same thing. It was the Habsburg monarchy. I mean, right? I don't know when the Habsburg monarchy. Okay, so technically. All right, here's the deal. Okay, I guess technically, I don't know at what year. Like, yeah, it dissolved or whatever. But the Hungarians consider them both. Because I guess Redi was like a Hungarian, you know, although he was Czech. He was raised in the Hungarian monarchy, first of all. And secondly, you know, he may have spoken fluent Hungarian. I don't know. I'd have to ask a friend who's like an expert in an expert in this stuff. But Réti is an absolutely Hungarian name. So most likely, yes, Réti was technically Czech, but he was a Hungarian, you know, like Hungarian from what we call Czechoslovakia. Right. That was like part of Hungary at some point. You know, so the lines are kind of blurred, but a good question. A good question. When Redi and Breyer and Marazzi went to a tournament together, like in Berlin in 1920, what language did they speak with each other? German or Hungarian? There's a good question for you. Czechoslovakia. There was no Czechoslovakia. Yeah, I don't know. The lines are so blurred there. When did it become Czechoslovakia, by the way? That's like a Soviet era thing, no? Before that, it was all kinds of like kingdoms and shit. Monrovia. You know, I guess like it was divided up into little separate kingdoms. But that's true, Lionel. Réti was not like born in Budapest like Marazzi and Breyer. He grew up in what is now today like Prague or some part of Czechia. But I guess he was a minority. You know, his family must have been Hungarian, at least. Ethnically, because Réti is a Hungarian word. It's a fairly rare name, but so you would call him Ricard, like Rockport is Ricard. Another weird name. I don't know what the deal is with Rockport's name. It's not a Hungarian name. I don't know what it is. Like shortened form of Rappaport, or what is that exactly? But Richard is a common Hungarian name. Not that common as the classics, but so he's Ricard, Réti Ricard. He's considered. I mean, I have a former teammate who has written a book on the last 100 years of Hungarian chess, and Réti is basically considered to be one of the Hungarians. But maybe that's a kind of nationalistic view. which wouldn't surprise me. All right, what are we doing here? F4. No, I have an old friend of mine who plays the accelerated. Well, he would play the dragon, really, like the normal dragon mostly. I feel like this might be the right way for white to play. Yeah, I wish I had studied. I wish I had studied history, and I will say that like in my school, in high school, we didn't really study European history as much as I think should have been. I'm sure it varies. Needless to say, like Europeans know European history a lot better than Americans do, and vice versa. All right. Bishop c6, kind of a weird move, but you are attacking the center. So I'm curious, though, you know. I mean, the native language of Maratsi and Breyer is Hungarian. Reti probably, I don't know, you know, I mean, he could have spoken like 3 languages. Probably. I would imagine. Like Czech, Hungarian, and German. Everyone had to speak German in that time. At least the educated people who were traveling. Because Austria was the seat of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy until whenever. It's interesting. But you assume that like those 3 guys are in the same tournament in London, not London, in Berlin, 1920. They're probably going to speak Hungarian, you know. I don't think like, you know, first language speakers are going to sit around speaking in German amongst each other if their native language is Hungarian. 3 out of 10 players speak Hungarian in that tournament. Okay, Queen A5. I mean, it's the same thing today. You know, these guys will like, the Hungarian grandmasters speak Hungarian to each other, and then everyone speaks English or something as a backup. It's easy being like an American where you only speak English. It's interesting moving to Europe and realizing how different the rest of the world really is. Everyone in Europe has to accept the fact that their neighbors all speak different languages, and it's a complicated thing. But we take for granted in America. Wow, this is an interesting approach here by the opponent. I don't know. I feel bad about b4, because I'm giving up the c4 square, but on the other hand, black has to make some decision about this queen. That's funny. Your brother in LA responds in English. Like, you guys spent different amounts of time. I mean, I would think like you would default to English because you've been here. I would think like you'd be the one who defaults to English because you've been in America for so long. I mean, you're not like speaking Spanish on a daily basis. But your brother is even more so. Not like you're going to forget Spanish, but you don't use it. Well, he was born there though. Yeah, well, I don't know. And he lives in LA, you know? That's funny. I mean, more people speak like Spanish in LA than Boston, probably. Needless to say. Queen e5. Perfectly safe position for the queen. Obviously. Damn, dude. Setsig is really... He's provocative. Kind of weirdly provocative. I mean, putting the queen on e5... You're like asking to get your queen trapped. It seems like. You can always sacrifice the old queen, no big deal. Exactly. Exactly, you're asking for it. That's what I was saying. You're gonna sack your queen on d4? That's not enough. You have to play queen f6 now, or queen h5, which is ugly. I don't recommend queen h5. Now you're threatening e5, winning a piece. Or not. It's actually not winning a piece. So you're not threatening shit, basically. Yeah, I hoped you would take on c6. I'll tell you now, you know, that's one of the big things in the Sicilian. It's hard to shake the knight off of d4. And I've been playing the dragon, accelerated dragon, for years, and not only the accelerated dragon, you know, also other Sicilians, like the black side of the Richter Rouser. That bishop is a weird piece, you know, the light square bishop. I refer to it as the ghost bishop. Oftentimes it's very problematic. Like it's not really as good as you would hope. H6 is a good move. That's pretty much best what I expected. Stopping bishop g5. I was starting bishop g5, trapping his queen. What I really want is like pressure here, but knight d5 just leaves my pawn structure all like messed up. Is your queen trapped? No. Never. Never! It will never be trapped. I can play knight takes c6, but it's nothing special. Honestly, don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. You're threatening e5 now. Literally. How about knight f3? That's a weird idea. You drove my knight from the center. This is a stupid move. I'm just playing it because I don't know what to do. I was thinking there's some good idea in this, but it's honestly kind of dumb. Avoiding exchanges is something you do when you have more space, so the general philosophy of my play here, I guess, is that. To avoid exchanges when I have more space. You are starting to kind of piss me off. All right, now we're almost. We almost got something going here. But he's so just persistent. Still nothing. I still have nothing. Does this work? What? What? I think he just sort of freaked out trying to play fast. He freaked out more than me. I didn't completely freak out. The key is to freak out less than your opponent. Bring on the next cheapo. Are you going to take that pawn on h6? Are you going to eat that? It's like the last piece of pizza or something. Nobody wants it. Ooh, risky. That that bishop is still there. It's still there, man. Nobody loves it. Oh, he's letting me fork him. Alright. See, nobody wants to take that bishop. He's special. Let's see how I did if I was ever in trouble. This is, you actually had an advantage of 0.1 at one point after bishop e5. The fine art of doing nothing, you know, that's this game. I almost lost control at move 21, and you were a tiny bit better, and then you lost the thread. All right, good game. If it pleases Master, Asterbait, Thursday, tomorrow night, we're going to do a subscriber stream on Kick. So if you guys haven't followed and subscribed over there, subscriptions are live. Subscriptions are live on both. I want you guys to subscribe on every possible website. But if you have to choose one or the other, Kick does kick back more. The rate back is better on Kick. They're paying a more equitable share of money, and that's why I started streaming over there. Okay, next we've got another 40 minutes. Earning chess. So, Sensei, good game. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel proud of the way I played that game, but because I didn't do anything. And I also didn't play unusual openings. Today was supposed to be unusual opening stream, and I forgot. Damn. Oh, I did something crazy yesterday. Something crazy. I'm either the most boring player ever or a total nutso. There's one game in the database where this was played. It's Brian Smith versus Miles Ardeman. And that's what Brian played and lost against Ardeman. I mean, obviously it had to have been played more than once in history by master level players, but I was a little surprised, honestly. I mean, Brian Smith was like 2370 when he played this game. But I mean, you gotta go for it here with white. Knight c3 doesn't seem... I had a game yesterday, I swear to God, just with an anonymous player, but d5, knight b8, e5, knight g8. And way to overextend themselves, and I was better after 20 moves. But against a good player, that wouldn't work like that. Artemin played d5 here in the game, and he's kind of a jerk, but a good hyper modern player. Okay, we can transpose back to the usual shit with like d6, and then e5, of course. Oh, this reminds me of another game. Oh. We're going to transpose, if you play take f4, knight c6. Speaking of Breyer-Dula, that's Marazzi. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes f4, knight c6, e5, knight g8. Was it Marazzi? Another game from London, 1920. I can't remember who he was playing against. It wasn't Marazzi, I don't think. It was someone else. Jula actually did this. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes, f4. Now the computer prefers knight g6, but he played knight c6. And then white played e5, and black played knight g8. I can't remember who it was against. This is a totally different thing. Now we have a queen pawn style structure. So the question is, like, if you do pawn takes pawn, knight takes, obviously white doesn't have to play f4. But after like f4, knight c6, you know, should white play e5 or not? Is it worth driving knight back to g8? Starro Drive transformed into river amid flash flooding in Boston. Damn, Nedog, that's getting a little close for comfort. Lower Alston submerged. Nedog's pretty close to Starro Drive. All right. Yeah, this is counterintuitive. Bishop e5. It's funny. How's the Charles River, Nedog? Did you guys see that for the Olympics next year? Well, anyway, for the Paris Olympics, they're gonna try to have they're planning on having, you know, like aquatic events in the Seine River. Insane. It'll be an insane Olympic events. Can you imagine having like swimming in the Charles River? Is that cool? It's cleaner than it used to be. They have an event once a year. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's that's why I brought it up. It's like a similar. I know it's cleaner than it used to be, right? But can you swim in it? I mean, that's what's happening in Paris. That's why I mentioned it. It's like, okay, it's cleaner than it used to be, but still, like, does that mean it's clean enough to like swim in it? I don't know, dude. I saw some old footage of like the 1910 or some really old Olympics where they had swimming in Paris in the Seine. But a lot of people think it's crazy. They're going to try to pull this off. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, it was 1900? Was it 1900? I thought it was later. Um, 2024 Olympic Games. That's right. You know, for a minute, I forgot what year it was, believe it or not. Um, wow. All right. B5, bishop B3, B4. Are we taking that Scooby snack? Yeah, bishop takes B5. Uh-uh. Bishop takes B5, pawn B5, knight B5. Trump news. The Trump news, of course. I read all the news. I'm like an old. I knew I was an old man. I knew I became an old man when I started reading the news every day. But it's partly like nostalgia. I mean, and being homesick. I I follow all the news. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's like those insurance commercials where you become your dad. What company was that? Um, yeah, Trump indicted again. But at this point, it's kind of like everyone's holding their breath, claiming that the statistics said. I mean, the pollsters are saying the election will be like really, really close at this point, assuming it's Trump versus Biden. I can't believe we have to go through this again. I mean, I'm glad I don't live in the United States, but at the same time, it's just like, all right, this was the point. I got distracted. Yeah, but there's no limit to the stupidity of people like Americans, Europeans, wherever, all over the world. Populism, man. Hungary's pissed because the U.S. government is cracking down on Orban's handing out citizenship to all kinds of sketchy people without double checking. Now anyone with a Hungarian passport is limited to like one entry to the United States on a visa waiver program, and as opposed to other European countries, they have like less. Where it used to be like 2 years, you can enter up to 3 times. Now it's one time, and if you're like an ethnic, if you're a Hungarian from other, who was born in other countries like Ukraine or Romania, you can't get a visa waiver at all because the Orban government is so sketch that they gave citizenship to like everybody to try to have the election. Now if you're like a Hungarian or a Hungarian from outside of who lives outside of Hungary, it's like you can't even get a visa to the United States anymore. Slowly, they're in like they're almost at war. The Orban government is almost at war with the United States now. The ambassador here is really hardcore. He's the total opposite of our last ambassador. There was this moron. There was this moron like appointed by Trump, who was a total psychopath and like billionaire, who did nothing but like party with the corrupt government here. He's been replaced by an extremely liberal and vocal guy. Man, it's a war, political war between Hungary and the United States now. Well, not Hungary, but the government here. Crazy, man. Yeah, the whole situation everywhere is crazy. We should do the political stream. Start streaming politics. I wouldn't be able to deal with the trolls if I did political streaming. I would get like all upset. So what happened learning chess? Where'd your center go? I mean, his move bishop b5 is really like strangely provocative. You know, this move just setting me up for a break that I probably need to play. Um, it's a very beneficial break for black in many ways. It is the head of the pawn chain, but I wouldn't give me a tempo to do it, you know. Now h4. You guys don't play a solid you don't play a solid game of chess around here. '24. Is forbidden to swim in the Danube outside designated areas. Yeah, well, the Danube isn't as bad as some rivers, I guess. Um, Man, to go to the UK, you can't even like swim in the ocean without like raw sewage washing up. Probably the Danube's cleaner than the Charles River. I don't know. Um, don't swim out of the designated areas. The roped off area. That's an interesting article you picked up there, Asterbait. I did see a notification about that somewhere. So there's a couple places you can swim in the river here. My son wants to go fishing. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, learning chess. Another player with like an insanely aggro style. But I think this is, you see, this is like the product of online chess. Hayes Miro is another example who we played earlier. You guys who don't play tournament chess play like, you know, it's all or nothing for $1 million. I just lost a pawn. Wow, that was good. You didn't take the pawn. I think it's important to learn to be more controlled. Don't have to go crazy every game. The secret to beating weak players is doing nothing, right? Okay, learning chess is a specific account that's like geared toward bullet chess, which I hate, you know. But at least he used his time. But I mean, seriously, look at this opening. Check out what I had the other day. I'll show you guys. Like, look at this. How did you start? E4, knight c6, d4, knight c6. Dubious, of course. Brian Smith also played knight c3. So you can pick, I mean, I don't know, either e5 or d5 has to be best. I think you've got to go for it. This is a weird line of the Alekhine, right? Like here, here, here. So technically, I guess this. And now, if knight e5, f4, knight g6, e5, let's check lichess games. It's possible to play knight e4. How do I protect that knight? It's like lost position. It's just a lost position. You can't do this. You'd have to play knight back to g8. And that's dubious. So if you play d5, honestly, if you play d5, I'm going back to b8. And if you play e5, I'm going back to g8. And I played this yesterday with white playing... I want to say they played like c4, which actually is a pretty bad move, I think. c4, e6. This is my game yesterday. I think knight f3 and d6. And white is only better by one pawn after d6. I'm threatening to undermine the center. It's not good, but it's an interesting exercise. I ended up equalizing and then winning in like 20 moves. The game continued something like knight c3, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, and then my opponent like lost his mind and played that. I was like, thanks, dude. Bishop takes f6, f4, castles, bishop e2, and then pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Amazingly, this position's already been played. And now the engine says the best move for black is like c5 or something. But I played knight d7. After knight d7, bishop d7, black has a clear advantage. That's my game from yesterday, just for fun. I was warming up for this Weird Openings Wednesday stream. This is an anonymous player. I mean, I guess their strength was like 1600. I don't know. But the game here in question, this has probably been played. So now we've got e5. I show you guys the Breyer-Jula game. Pawn takes pawn, which is best. Knight takes e5. And I believe f4, which is not forced. And then Breyer-Jula played knight g6 and then e5. And I remember who it was now. It wasn't from Berlin 1920. The game, this is one of Breyer-Jula's, more famous games. Although he was very young, I suppose. White, I think, was Max Uwe, if I'm not mistaken. Knight g8. And then like bishop c4, d6. Black actually went on to win after knight f3, bishop g4. I think castles, queen d7. And Uwe later like miscalculated something. I think he played like queen e1, castles queenside, something like this. But anyways, it's very experimental for black. Knight c3 here, takes is best. He pushes. Wow, people, okay, let's see the real database. 3 games. Frank Ferencz, who passed away a couple years ago. He was a nice guy, very butchy. FIDE master, but obsessed with weird openings. I'm surprised there's only 2 games here for black. But I guess it's hard to get this position without, like, taking on e5. Needless to say, I think that Frank Ferencz had probably seen a few Jula Breyer games. Knight e7. And now you played the ridiculously provocative... Wow, Ivanov Kurdo, 1989. Check that shit out. Ivanov played f4 here. Whoa. Going for the jugular. Man, welcome to the United States. Kurdo was higher rated than Ivanov in 1989. Although Alex hadn't reached his peak and he had just arrived in the US. f4. It's like counterintuitive. White is attacking the head of the pawn chain or the strong point. Not the best move according to the engine. John played it correctly. D6. And now what? Knight F3. Wow, Shabalov. James Schuyler. Shabalov played Knight F3. Alex played F takes E5. D takes E5. What now? Knight F3? No. Ivanov played Bishop G5. Wait, Kurdo had a decent game here. But John played Knight G6. Oh my god, A6 is the best move, according to the engine. And black equalizes. That's some crazy stuff, man. Ivanov still plays, dude. His whole life is chess. You know, Kurdo passed away I guess early this year, or it was last year. I can't remember now, sadly. The funny thing about Kurdo was I told the story that he was a really nice guy. But John always had this theory that he had to beat them when they were young, and he never beat me to the last game he played me in the Harvard Open in like 2003. It's really funny. We must have played like 10 times, and he never beat me until the last time. I thought he was like so old at that time, but he would go on to live like another 20 years. Anyways, yeah, this is an interesting opening. I don't agree with F4, but I don't know. It's not a bad move. This is definitely a bad move. Provoke me with C6. I played the best. B5. No, I should have played B5 right away. Oh, missed it. Knight G6 not as good. You could have played H4 right away. Here. Yeah. The other move is Queen A5. I thought about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this off. I'm going to pick off the overextended pawn with Queen A5. Alright, I had more challenges and they disappeared. Dinekis. Alright. Yeah, doesn't have any games. Kurdo with a K. What are you, Hungarian? Yeah, he looked 20 years ago. I remember when he beat you. Yeah. Dude, I thought he was done. I thought he was done 20 years ago, and it was a big misjudgment. That was an epic game. He's Italian. I guess the name Kurdo is like Italian. I'm not sure. I thought it was Italian, but you're the expert on Italian names. Maybe not. All right. He was a specialist in beating weaker players badly. He was a great, epic chess player in many ways. He didn't match up against me well, but he hit some scalps against some very strong players. Okay, I'm not playing weird opening. He's playing the weird opening. In defense with Knight F6. Not great. But I suppose this isn't that bad. Kurdo had the bipolar opening disorder a little bit. He would play real classically. He definitely had a little Jewel of Breyer in him. He would play like hyper classical stuff, and then he would play like the frickin' Dunst opening and stuff, and the Nimzovich. So that was interesting. think one of the games that beat him was in a Nimzovich. No, it was a Chigorin. Chigorin. He played a Chigorin and Nimzovich. Stuff, he liked to put his knight on the left knight with white, and then knight c6 with black. Curdo never played much internationally. He played in like St. Martin once, and that was it. I think that was the only time he ever played outside the United States. So he never became an IM, though he should have been. He should have been an IM, 40 years ago. Dinekis is playing like Asterbait, the Asterbait system. Unnecessary a6. Okay, a6 is actually not such a bad move here. It controls the b5 square, which will prevent my knight from going in there later. He's trying, he should be trying to play a French. I don't know what his intention is here. I don't like b5. This is a bad Asterbait opening. I think you gotta go with some type of French defense here. You could try the half hippo with like d6. Just the bottom of the hippo. No top. But b5 has definitely been hanging out with Asterbait too much. Curdo used to always do this. He would like put his finger on his lip. He had like a mannerism when he was thinking. The lip finger. People are funny. They have different kinds of... Why do we have no viewers? Are we on lichess? Or they canceled me? Oh, Esterman is streaming. Oh, God. I don't know. I dislike that guy. All right. There's something not right about someone who streams never changes their stream title. That's creepy. Get some creativity, man. All right. Finally, d5 is here. I don't like that guy. I'm not here to like bash people. I'm just mentioning in passing. In passing. En passant. It's a good classical French for white now. I'm like a sort of tempo up, except for this knight, which is supposed to be on f3. The question is, so I can't move my bishop because the knight is restricting me. That's a bit of an issue. Which means I almost have to take here. Letting his knight, unleashing. Oh, bishop trade. That's okay with me, brother. I'm okay with that exchange. We've got a good classical bishop for bishop, good bishop, bad bishop. No viewers. Wednesdays is our worst day. What do people do on Wednesdays? There's never any viewers on Wednesdays. Mondays and Friday mornings are okay, but like for some reason Wednesday morning, there's no one watching chess. No one watching my stream. Why do people hate Wednesdays so much? They're just more busy in the middle of the week. Like hump day is an actual thing. What am I gonna do? I don't like the castle queenside so much here. Could play. Wednesday might be when people make up for all the slacking. That's when their hangover finally wears off from the weekend. Yeah, I mean, position is not that bad for black, but what am I gonna do? Rook d1 is interesting. I can castle queenside. I don't love it. It's kind of, well, either way, I'm pretty open here. Queen h4 check. I guess bishop e2, huh? It's not very exciting. Yeah, hangovers last longer. I'm very careful what I drink these days. This is wild. A device in his shoe. That's an old story. Wait, what are you talking about? No, but you're talking about the Ivanov guy, the Bulgarian guy who was like a cheater. That's an old story. Bozidar Ivanov or whatever. I had forgotten that Dlugy was... It's ironic that Dlugy was involved with that. Dlugy knows a little bit about cheating. Takes one to know one, Max. No, this guy's Bulgarian. It was a Bulgarian. It was a big story at the time. It's like 6 years old. Topalov said. Asked me, why are you resurrecting old stories from the dead? Randomly. Let's get a little more modern here. Get with the times. Old cheating stories. Oh no. No, that's a different person, man. Yeah, Ivanov is both a Russian and a Bulgarian name. Or Ivanov. Son of Ivan. There are quite a few chess players with the same name. But that guy like was very dubious. Yeah. Did I blunder yet? Queen c2, king f2. This guy wasn't even like an established player. He came out of nowhere. That's a 6-year-old, 7-year-old story. Yeah, 10. Okay. It was a really old story. It wasn't like an established player. It was this player, it was like a young guy who suddenly started playing tournaments out of nowhere and having really good results. That, like, you know, it doesn't happen much today, let alone like 10 years ago. So it was pretty much a red flag to begin with. But no one could prove anything, necessarily. I think it would be different if it was an established player. They get more credit, but I mean, the guy was a red flag from the beginning. You don't just like come out of nowhere to start like winning international tournaments. Oh my god, F6. Whoa. Danek is playing like a French maestro. It's not just a classical French, it's a classical French. Guys, this is going to be my last game. I gotta go. We're going to be streaming. I don't know what I'm going to do about Wednesday streams. It just seems like hopeless. We're going to be streaming and get tier 3, Astrobate. Figure out why you're not tier 3. We're going to get tomorrow night subscriber stream on Kick. Nedog, join us on Kick tomorrow night. He refused to be searched and walk away. I knew a guy who was there. Serbian master. Stream with your shirt off on Wednesdays. Are you having another bipolar episode? Dude, what is up with this guy? Speaking of streaming with my shirt off, I need to turn off the air conditioner. It's like cool in here now. Uh-oh. Lock it down. You lucky donkey. We can cover this. The pawn's hanging. Welcome to the Psychic Network. Operators are standing by. Jesus, dude. It's like playing Leiko or something. King E7. All right. That's enough of that threat of D4. Mrs. Net Og. What time is it? Oh, 1:30. We have just enough time for a little walk. A little exercise. Not so hot here today as it has been. How's our minor piece ending, by the way? Bad bishop versus good knight. GM Orest. Human meat. Have you watched the Human Meat documentary? Oh no, he allowed knight h4 check. Oh no. Oh no. I lost the exchange. He's not down any pawns. Actually, he's up a pawn. Black is a pawn up. Let the torture begin. Where should I place my king? King f3. I don't want to let him into g4. Rob sank. Why would I? That's a weird comment. Why would I? I don't understand. How can I play? You can't. I mean, you could, theoretically, but I have to go. So I'm leaving, guys. Time to go to work. I stack boxes for a living. We will be back tomorrow night. Analysis. Tomorrow night on Kick. Guys, check out my other stream on kick.com/Sladgie. Oh, hello. Carlson Rajabov. Wow, f3, white lost 2 games. You should play d5 right away. Alright, I agree. Wow, this is a game. Emil Pessi. He's a pessimist. So, you got to, like, a reasonable classical French. Duani Martinez. Oh, black is better after bishop e2. Jesus. Better after knight e4. Well, we transposed. Frolianov versus Nomkin. I think Nomkin just died or something. He was apparently like a very troubled guy. Queen e7. Bishop d3. And then we got the big dark square squeeze on. Well, I missed the win here. That's not an easy move to play. g4. g4. Double exclam. Wow. So apparently black can hold this. You missed d4. Sacking the pawn with check. That's an amazing move. That is an amazing move. I should have played d4 first, but I was concerned about rook f4. There's nothing to worry about. I made a mistake there, letting you play d4. Wow, amazingly the computer thinks this is a draw. Rook takes f4, king takes f4. Are you sure? That's a pretty bad bishop you've got there. Okay, maybe it's a draw, man, but that doesn't mean it's easy to draw. Anyway, I guess it's just not possible for me to win this. It's kind of like my other game. I was fractionally worse at one point. Knight e4. And then knight e4, de4. I can't trade. So I have to play this and then my structure's all messed up. I had nothing. This bishop has a lot of potential. It's not necessarily going to remain blocked. You have this threat of e3, penetration down here. Yeah, that was a weird opening you got away with there. Well, you even have c5. So, nah. I don't believe it. c5, d5. No, this is not clear. Take. Okay, my setup is a bit slow to get out of the gate. So it's possible f3 is too slow. a3 and f3 was too much for me. I should just develop with bishop d3. This is a better move. All right, Astrobate, the reverse Astrobate opening. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget, tomorrow night, subscriber stream on kick.com/Sladgie. If you'd like to submit a game and you're a subscriber to my streams, please do so. You send me a message here on lichess.org. Thanks, NetDog. Have a great day. Thanks, guys. Mr. Coffee. Bye-bye.